Alright guys, welcome to another Dokkan battle video. We have the banners in the game, both the global and the JP, which is what I was waiting for. I also have Kirby and Taco here to help me with the JP side. So they're going to give their thoughts and opinions too. Yes, thank you guys for being here. Wahoo.
Let's go, okie dokie.
Alright, so I'll discuss like the global side because obviously I'm a global player. I think that matters more. Bulma has been confirmed to come to the global side. That is so awesome.
Global L. Global L.
What? No.
What? Huh?
I would definitely say like Trunks is good and stuff, but I would probably just say to summon more on Gohan, and then just coin Bulma. But something to also think about is for whatever reason the first multi only is only 30 stones, and then they obviously have the buy 3 get 1 free as well.
Where's our discount?
Don't worry about it. Oh yeah. Well, the reason why you guys don't get it is because you're getting these tickets, I guess, where you could every single summon, I think, is or every single multi, you get these tickets and you get entered into a raffle. But it only matters if you actually live in Japan, and I'm assuming my viewers probably do not live in there. just a wild guess, but yeah.
Well, if you do live in there.
Yeah.
Hopefully you win something.
Yeah, I think I don't know how many they usually do, but I'm almost positive it's like at least, I would hope at least 100, but I'm not sure. But I do know that the figurines look really cool that they give. Anyways, the Trunks banner looks all right, I guess. Like Bird Q is still pretty good. Infusions of Masu is okay. It's just same name with the Tech LR, so yippee. But Trunks himself is still really good. I do think he's getting underrated a bit. Unfortunately, this banner just doesn't look worth it enough, I would say, because Bulma's probably better than this Trunks, especially since new information has come out confirming that you cannot do multiple spirit bombs at the same time, even though they are different methods of charging. So Trunks' method is via attack, and then Bird Q and 4Q have it where they get per orb. You can't do them at the same time, even though it is a different method, which is very, very dumb in my opinion.
It's okay, guys. A year from now, they'll differentiate the charge counters.
Oh yes, of course, of course. Even though for whatever reason they have it where it differentiates, because one is like a revive, like the GT Duo, and the other one's the charge one. But even still, they're like, no. I don't know. No. It doesn't make sense. Hopefully they fix it in the future.
This is probably going to be a little bit of a hot take, but like, if I told you I prefer Gohan being on this banner over Bulma, as in the Int one, the Int Carnival.
I mean,
because no matter what, Bulma's on the banner. Period.
Right.
No matter what Bulma's on the banner, what matters is that Gohan is not.
Right.
And
I think
because some people are gonna summon on JP and they're gonna get Bulma just randomly. And there's also the argument that if you have yellow coins already, you can just use your yellow coins on her instead of the carnival coins, and save your carnival coins for actual carnival units.
Right.
So I think the real global W here is the fact that Five Guys is back on Gohan's banner. That's what I think is actually the W here.
I do think that is definitely a good thing. Like, he's been due to drop again. I know he was supposed to drop for Omega, but even still, this is still really nice to have him on the global side. I don't think it's like I do think that the 8th year LRs are better. Like, I don't think that's a hot take to say than Five Guys, but just pushing them up into the schedule a little bit faster gives us the potential to get the 8th year part 2 LRs on Omega, which would be super nice, but I really doubt it.
That's what I was going to get into next. The fact that Five Guys is on this banner does add the idea that at least one of them could be on Omega's just chilling.
Right.
Both would be fucking insane. But,
I would be okay if even Goku returned. Like just replace Five Guys with just the AGL Kaiku. I would be fine with that. Like I would not be complaining.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at all. Yeah. Metal Cooler stinking up the Gohan banner though. Holy.
Yeah. Super Boo though. Super Boo. We got Super Boo this early.
Yeah, I will say on the JP side, because we have Kai Goku instead.
Oops.
Man, so Kai Goku, yeah, I think we can all agree Kai Goku is a decent bit better than Five Guys, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately. Super Bowl is gonna get his 200% soon. Somebody on Twitter told me that.
I know what I was just talking about with Bulma, but am I gonna sit here and say that Gohan's a better unit than Bulma? No. So right. I think in terms of these banners value, I think JP's Gohan banner significantly better than Global's and vice versa for Trunks.
I do think as well something that you were talking about earlier before we started recording is we don't really know if the side banner unit EZAs, like the 4 that are EZing in part 2, if they're going to be dropping during this as well, or not dropping, if they're going to be putting them as like other featured units in these banners, like if it's 2 per, I think that would still be pretty good, and it would definitely help out accounts that do need those units.
Now, we do also have to consider that there's 2 more LRs that we don't know that are on these banners.
Right. I don't know. Most of the time
they could fluctuate.
Yeah.
If I were to guess, I think Global will still have Inter-Rose featured because Gohan and Trunks are a newer unit, so it makes sense to put him on the banner image.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he's there, and maybe vice versa for JP. Like Gohan and Trunks could still be on the banner. Yeah. They're just not on the banner image. It's a little weird. But it's not the first time Global has changed banner images.
For sure. It is kind of weird. I mean, I'm definitely fine with this dub, because it's just like having Bulma on the banner, like I was saying, is very nice, and it's gonna be make for people who do summon for Trunks and are in a situation like me who don't even have Bulma, or maybe even just have Bulma at 55%. If you are going to chase Trunks even just a little bit, or you're going to use your ticket summons, and you're like, you know what, let me just put in a few on Trunks, so you have all of those 35 tickets that you're going to use on him. It is going to have the potential to pull Bulma as well. So even if you don't get number we'll say 5 or 6 in the game, you're going to get number like 2. You always have that potential, which I do think is something to think about, that this banner has 2 of the top 10 LRs on them. Like Trunks is not being or is being underrated, or to the point where there are some people who don't even consider him top 10, but he is top 10. And Bulma is still.
I see. The thing is, I've seen how he performs at not 55, at Rainbow, and I'm like, seeing how much he can take with that RNG at Rainbow.
Right.
I'm not so confident he's going to be very good at 55.
Just be lucky.
It's hard to say.
Just be lucky. Right?
See, it's harder to get lucky when you have a lower hippo too.
That is true.
But yeah, but then Future Gohan just has 80% damage reduction, so there's no reason to be concerned about him at 55 outside of slot 1. It's like, because we did find out that Gohan's damage reduction, he needs to attack first for that last 20%, which definitely matters.
It does. But his defense gets so boosted post super that he is like the perfect slot 2 option that will probably never age for a good year, I would say.
And at higher dupe levels, easily you could probably slide him up slot 1. But because I saw how much he was taking against that Eijiro Zamasu in the Mortal Will and whatever the event is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I saw how much he was taking from that Eijiro Zamasu slot 1 at Rainbow. Turn 1, he does take a good bit.
Right. But hey, I mean,
after he supers though, he's boom. All of a sudden, that 20% really does kick in. The difference between 60 and 80 in type disadvantage is very staggering.
All right, so what? I guess the general consensus, I guess something to think about too, is this banner. Just because it doesn't have, Bulma on it, just doesn't make it a bad banner. I think that even applies for JP too. It's down here. It's even better over here too. So if we look at JP's banner, Goku is probably the number 1 support LR. Well, no, number 2 support LR, because of Bulma. But yeah, number 2 support LR in the game. So it does help, having higher HP and all of that, because it makes it where you can tank more damage before getting scared. Super Buu is good. He just, needs a 200%. And even
looking
on tech,
at the global exclusive tickets.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's the same thing regardless. I don't think. Yeah, it's just the banners. But yeah, Super Boo is still pretty good. He just needs a team, and even on Tex Zamasu's team, I've heard he does pretty good. I have not been able to test that out, but I have seen people use him on Tex.
His metal cooler is on the banner.
Yeah, I guess he's on the banner.
I will say that and looking at the JP banner, I am actually missing all 5 of these LRs. So the banner is actually very good for me. Right. I'm missing Metal Cooler, missing Kai Goku, missing Goku Gohan, who are definitely also on the banner.
Right.
You've yet to mention them. I love that Goku Gohan, but man,
they aged a little bit too fast.
I mean, for global, it was like, hey, look, it's the 7th years before the 7th years because they function very similarly.
Right. I think
of course AGL Super Boo comes back after I decided to struggle through Majin Power ESBR, by the way. God damn it. I did the cheese method. I just brought a friend with nuking items.
I would say, especially on JP, I would still say, like, what the first thing is first. If you don't pull for part 1 LRs, do not use your rainbow tickets on part 2 LRs. Like, I know the new hype unit and future Gohan, and he's gonna age so well and stuff, but these banners are definitely not worth it when compared to Dokkan Fest exclusive banners, that I don't think chasing 1 unit is going to make it better. Even if you're chasing Kai Goku and future Gohan, I don't think chasing 2 units is better than, oh, well, you know, I pulled one of the other feature units and I could at least still use them, versus, oh, fuck, I pulled the metal cooler. You know?
Guys. Well, hey, and I will say, if you're the number 1 Sword of Hope fan or the number 2 future Gohan fan, you're not one. I'm one. Then by all means, just go in. But because me personally, I don't have Merge Zamasu yet. But right. I'd rather be caught dead than not summon for my goat.
Right. It is, you know, all up to you at the end of the day what you want to summon for. But if you want to think about this as smartly as you can, do not summon on the part 2 with your rainbow tickets. If you're on global, just do the discount multi. I always say to do the discount multi unless it's like really, really bad banners. But doing the discount is like,
gets that one-time discount so I can actually do a stone multi because I'm broke.
I mean, you'll still have the tickets too. But yeah, if you, I still think like overall it's still better for part 1. But in terms of part 2, if you're trying to decide which banner to go for, because it's especially harder on the global side, at the end of the day, of course, it's all up to you, but I think overall it's probably better for global if you go for this is like a really tough one. I think I'm gonna be going into future Gohan first, because Trunks is really good, but you could always coin Bulma. And I guess the same issue the same thing could be said for Five Guys, but I do think that like overall Gohan is obviously better than Trunks, so it's like
100%, not even a question.
Yeah, 100%. And then Super Boo's still good, like I said. Fizmo Cooler exists, but yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this is a really tough one to kind of say like, oh yeah, you should summon for this. Because, yeah, again, Bulma does make the banner for Trunks like 10 times better, but you could always just pick her up with coins.
I mean, hey, there's also the argument that, I mean, she might not be featured, but hey, she's still on Gohan's banner. She's still on the JP banner.
Right.
But fuck, dude. Like again, like I mentioned before, I think it's nice that she's on the banner, but it would have been better for Gohan to be there.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess if let's say you don't have any coins to get the unit, let's say that you have like 200 or 300 and you bought Bird Coup during the anniversary because you didn't pull them, and you skipped all of part 2 summons on global, I think probably going for the Trunks banner is probably best, just because of Bulma. She's going to be an LR who doesn't age for probably the rest of time. Dokkan would have to announce a shutdown before Bulma's aging. And that's just showing how crazy she is. She is coming out with new tech every single day, with both Tech Trunks and doing like the massive attack stat 30 million plus auto crit with Tech Trunks, Sword of Hope. And then also just helping out your whole team, the active skill helping out in general, just making everybody type effective. And then Trunks also just being, like I said, probably a top 10 LR, or at least debatable top 10 LR, especially after using the active skill and being able to pop out these huge attack stats and being able to do all of this tanking after transformations. He is definitely a more RNG dependent LR than Future Gohan, but again, I don't think that necessarily makes him bad. Future Gohan is still clearly the better LR. So if you're just going for the top one, which I definitely don't recommend doing, then go for Gohan. But again, this on the global side, this is so hard to choose. I would assume like on JP, you know, it's a little bit easier because, you know, Kai Goku and Gohan, but because Kaiku here makes it probably better for Future Gohan. I don't know what your thoughts are, Kirby and Taco, but for me, if I was on JP, I'd probably summon on Gohan's banner just because I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
it's so much better.
Yeah.
Kai Goku and Future Gohan on one banner is insane.
The only way that I would say that JP is better is if Int Rose gets an easy A in part 3, but they have to announce that first before I would even say like, oh yeah, go for Int Rose. But yeah, I think that's probably the general thing is I would say on global, get Trunks or use your tickets on Trunks first, do both discount multis, see what you can get. Or I guess do the discount first and then do the tickets, or if you're planning on doing that. But on JP, like you guys said, to go for Future Gohan just because it's that much better. Like there's 3 LRs just on this featured banner alone that are still really usable, and so that's what I think. I'm sure you guys could agree with that.
Yeah. Totally.
All right, well, I guess that is all the time we have for today. Thank you guys for joining me, and hope you guys have a great SG week, and hope you guys have all the luck when part 2 drops in probably 2 hours from this video going up, but 3 hours from when I am recording this because it's 4:50 right now. So at daily reset for global, or 8 o'clock EST, the banners will drop. Make sure to, like I said, use your rainbow tickets on the first part. Unless you pull them, then do part 2.
Unless you're the number 2 Gohan fan.
Or the number 2 Sword of Hope Trunks fan, because I am clearly number 1. But yeah,
True.
Hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Welcome, your man.